you don't like something, do something about it. Don't like your grades? Commit to setting extra hours each day. Don't like your sleeping habits? Start creating a sleeping schedule. Don't like your running abilities? Devote more time to run each day. Spending the first 12 years of my life living in the UK, I was surrounded by the awareness of living a healthy lifestyle. This meant I knew how to pick out the right foods to eat and understood the importance of exercise. This seemed simple, and it was a standard in my community between family, friends, and neighbors. After moving back to my home country, Kuwait, it was evident that the culture here is different. With time, I began to realize why healthy living was no longer a standard, but an option. A choice to be made, where the healthy living was the harder path. Many people had never heard of healthy eating, or the Eat Well plate, as it's also known as, or understood that we have to walk 10,000 steps minimum each day. However, when I looked around my country, I found that we struggled to put these actions into practice. This problem was even explored by a BBC documentary called Big Meets Bigger, which focused on obesity solely in Kuwait. The documentary opened my eyes to the severity of the problem. Obesity and overweight is the 5th leading risk of global deaths. It is the leading cause to many chronic diseases, and in Kuwait, over 48% of our population are obese, which meant in 2002, 72% of our deaths in the country were due to obesity. I did not like this information. Thus, I had found a problem, and every problem has a solution. It would have been easier to concede the fact that this was someone else's job, or I'm not qualified enough. But I realized that healthy living is something I believe in, and why not start now? So I set out to do something about this issue. And one theory which I believe in is that obesity is related to the lack of awareness. Awareness seemed like it might just be my solution. But every time I thought about carrying this out through events or campaigns, I was not able to start. I was too scared to try, to fail, and face that humiliation. Nevertheless, I began. It may have been something small, but surely any change is better than none, I convinced myself. I started a weekly running club, something that was consistent and targeted the youth, because after all, they are our next generation. I believed that this small act would spread enough awareness to make a difference. For weeks, I planned, I advertised, and I tried to gather others to prepare for the first session. When the day finally came, it was a complete disaster. Only 5 of the 20 people who signed up for the first event even showed up. At the time, I could not see how 5 individuals would ever change Kuwait. It felt like trying to fill an ocean with raindrops. There had to be a better way. So I was stuck in the position of failure. I tried something, I failed, and I could stop here. And that's what I did. I decided to move on with my life. Unfortunately, it wasn't that easy. Looking around me, I saw that I could do more. I could try better, and I could keep going. I evaluated my view on what I wanted to achieve. Awareness is about quality and numbers. My previous attempt was not aligned with my target. I decided in order to reach my target, I had to throw myself out there at the risk of failing, where I could truly create an event, where I could show people the importance of healthy living, where I can help others understand what I have learned through my life. I imagined it in my mind, having a walkathon, booths, planning fun and educational activities, teaching people to calculate their BMI and bringing speakers or trainers to share their knowledge. It would be perfect and not too hard to accomplish. I was wrong. I decided to start a process which took me months. I had to communicate with marketing and developing units, contacting managers who directed me to other directors and who directed me to more managers. I submitted proposals, made presentations, and had to plan this event from scratch on my own. This included finding logistics, finding youth volunteers, having organizations with major directors in our country, persisting to sell my idea over and over again. It was a challenge that was truly hard to face, because I had to learn to communicate with professionals and finding organizations that suited my goals and would believe in someone at the age of 14. Not many take you seriously at that age, which got me used to hearing the word no. But I continued to strive for my goal. Eventually, my event was approved at Kuwait's largest park, Shahid Park. I would like to thank them and Loyak for their sponsorship and encouragement in a 14-year-old girl who was trying to achieve her dream. I would also like to thank the organizations who supported me in this process and believed in the youth. Persistence in this process led me to Ghanem al-Muftah. Ghanem is a Qatari social media influencer who promoted my event on his Instagram through this video. So
I want to show you everybody how easy it is to walk with your hands. Everybody should go out and walk. Walk on your feet, walk in your chair, walk on your hands, everywhere. Thank you very much. Why walk?
Ghanem suffers from a rare disease called caudal regression syndrome. Despite this, he hiked the tallest mountain in the Khalij, which is called Jabal Shams. This is where I met him, and he inspired me with his determination to carry out my event, Why Walk? Why walk with the Y as in youth, the Y as in why your walk, and the Y as in why we should walk. My careful planning had brought 100 people for a fun day of awareness. Now, 100 people might not seem like a huge number, but this was 20 times the amount of people who made it to my first event. I'd like to believe that everyone that day had learned something about healthy living, but what I had learned was different. Although the obesity rate did not drop after my event, I learned that I was able to make a difference. I was able to set an idea, plan, and see the outcomes. I realized that whether it's healthy living or making a difference, we all have to start somewhere. Not starting as big as I could have was a stepping stone to my success. It led me to failure. Failure is something I and many others avoid due to the stigma society has caused us to believe. Failing is a blessing. It is how we mature, it is how we learn, and it is how we succeed. If you don't like something, then do something about it. I pursued my goals in the moment, and not in a couple of months or years when I would have had more time to be ready. Think about what changes you would like to see in your life, or in your community. If I could pull off an event like Why Walk at the age of 14, and Ghanem could hike the tallest mountain in the Gulf region, Jabal Shams, then you can do anything. Stop waiting and start now. Thank you.